I am absolutely proud to support it and proud that the Democratic leadership under President Biden was able to deliver it to the American people in just 50 days. Knowing Congress, Shauna, this is an extraordinary accomplishment, and it's bringing relief to cities and states, which was the area that I oversaw it in the Oversight Committee, over $360 billion going in much needed states and cities and localities to help people.
Congresswoman, it's Adam. It's good to see you. And there's so much that's happened in the last year. I want to go back to March 11th, 2020, when the Oversight Committee and your chair held that hearing with Dr. Fauci.
Is the worst yet to come, Dr. Fauci?
Yes, it is.
Can you elaborate?
Well, whenever you have an outbreak that you can start seeing community spread, which means by definition that you don't know what the index case is, and the way you can approach it is by contact tracing. When you have enough of that, then it becomes a situation where you're not going to be able to effectively and efficiently contain it.
Looking back, do you reflect on that moment, that hearing?
It was, in my opinion, the Oversight Committee at its best. Our job is to bring the truth to the American people. And we were being told by our presidents and others in the administration that he was giving a very rosy picture of it. It's just the flu. And Dr. Fauci spoke the truth to the American people. I asked him to elaborate, and he said that our testing system was failing, that South Korea was testing far more people than we were with a fraction of our population. He was saying it's not the flu. He said that it had 10 times the chance of dying. He said some were estimating as many as 200 million could die, which was astonishing to us at the time. But now we know it's been over 500,000. And he spoke the truth about the crisis that we were confronting. It had a huge impact on the media that reported it as such. The New York Times went on television, the major reporter Baker, and said it was a turning point. Time magazine called it. And we had a reaction in the community where we started closing down our schools, our businesses, wearing our masks, and he told us to stay home and that we had to combat this crisis by really quarantining ourselves. He was the first one to say that, and it was astonishing. But it went out to the public, and people reacted to it and started following the advice of America's doctor.
Well, Congresswoman, as we sit here 12 months later, now 50 days into President Biden's administration, what is your thoughts on how the Biden administration has addressed COVID and some of the policies that have been enacted over the last couple of months?
Well, he has centralized the response as well as it should be. We had governors competing against governors for basic supplies and personnel equipment. He has centralized the distribution of the doses of vaccines, which we need. We are in a race against the virus. The virus is winning. The only way we win is to get out in front of it and vaccinate all of our people. He keeps announcing how many doses he's now able to get out to the American people. It can't come fast enough. The bill we just passed has $20 billion in it for vaccines, supplies, personnel to get out to our community. We need to vaccinate our people as quickly as possible. He's leading us in that direction, but he's also confronting the second crisis, the economic crisis we confront. We have to rebuild our cities better and our states, many of whom are reeling from the impact of the pandemic. Instead of firing all of our essential workers, we are now going to be able to keep them serving the American people as we recover from the virus.
You know, what's perplexing is that the states that lost the greatest amount of tax revenue in the last year, among them are some of the strongest Republican states in the country. And so when you talk about rebuilding, Republicans were not partners in the American Relief Act. What about infrastructure? We know that's on the agenda. Will they come to the table? Will Democrats and Republicans work together on the next round of rebuilding the economy in the country?
I would say that Republicans across the country supported the American Relief Plan. My committee was reaching out to all the cities and working with them on the aid package. And the city's Republican leadership, not only elected, but in the communities, supported the American Relief Act. They're on the ground. They need the support. They were calling for it. I hope the Republicans that are elected would listen to the people they represent. Not a single elected Republican voted for this desperately needed package to confront the virus, to conquer it, and then rebuild our economy. It's an incredibly important piece of legislation. I'm so proud of being able to move it and be part of the team that delivered it to the American people in just 50 days. And I think we need the infrastructure package. I hope that Republicans will join us, but I can tell you the Republicans across the country, I believe, are going to support it. Every American knows that we need to invest in our infrastructure for our productivity, for our economy, and it creates good jobs. We used to have the best infrastructure in the world. We now have a crumbling one. We need to invest in it. I can't wait to go to work on it, and I hope President Biden can lead us quickly to bring it to the American people.
Congresswoman, I want to ask you a little bit more about that bipartisan part of the question, because we know President Biden, he talked about unity, he talked about the importance of bipartisanship really from day one and even on the campaign trail. What do you think needs to be done just on a broader scale for Republicans and Democrats to come together in order to reach some deals where both sides are supportive in the future over the next 4 years?
Well, I truly believe that the best legislation is always bipartisan. And if anyone can lead us in that direction, President Biden can. He's friends with everybody. He's worked in this institution, in this government on many different levels his whole life, and he's very well liked. But if they won't work with you, you have to proceed. He said, I want to work on the relief package with the Republicans. They responded with a $600 million plan that did not even include cities and states and did not include infrastructure and mass transit or healthcare. And it was ridiculous. Instead of trying to work with someone who's not honestly trying to work with you, he has moved forward on his own. And I support that. I think he made the right decision. We have to act quickly to combat this crisis in the economy and the virus. He will continue to try to work across the aisle because that's who he is. I don't think it particularly helped him in the election because a lot of people are very partisan, but he has a history of working across the aisle. He knows how to do it. He's respected. He's honest. He wants to, but you can't do it alone. They have to cooperate. And so far, they haven't cooperated. Even though, as I tell you, I have hundreds of letters from electeds and community leaders supporting the American relief plan that were Republican and Democrat together saying, we need this help, get it to us, give us the vaccines. I think what he's done with the vaccines is absolutely remarkable. Every day they're trying to produce more and more and get them out to the people. I know because I struggle every day to get vaccines to the people that are desperately waiting for them. And it's so important. They have prioritized the needs of the country. They're moving forward quickly. And as you know, because you covered government, it's hard to make things happen. People think we're passing bills right and left. It's very hard to get that fragile flower called consensus and get it across the finish line.